March Madness has started. We're going to find out if Arkansas can capitalize on winning the SEC tournament.
This is Locked On Bets, the daily betting show that means business from the Locked On Podcast Network. Hosted by Lee Sterling and Kevin Rogers, they're dropping fearless picks with an inside edge to put money in your pocket. If there's action, they've got the lock. This is where smart bets start. It's Locked On Bets.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of Locked On Bets. Kevin Rogers and Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports with you. And as always, we appreciate you making Locked On Bets your first listen of the day here on the Locked On Podcast Network. And we have made it to day one of round one of the NCAA Tournament. 16 games today, 16 games coming up on Friday. So full load of games. And we have a couple to discuss today. And also UFC Fight Night in England. So a full show, and we are excited about that. So, Lee, without further ado, let's get things going. And the SEC Tournament champion, Arkansas Razorbacks, let's see what they do against Hawaii in this blowout special.
Oh, boy. Last one out, turn off the lights. This one's a blowout.
John Calipari has been in the spot before at Kentucky. You're a big favorite. You fall on your face at times, trying to avoid that here with Arkansas if they knocked off Vandy to win the SEC Tournament Championship. They're in Portland coming up this afternoon against Hawaii out of the Big West. So, Lee, what do you like here? Razorbacks a double-digit favorite against the Rainbow Warriors.
So I'd set my alarm for 5:45 this morning to wake up. And I figured, get some coffee, go over some things, tape the show with you, put the games out. I put that I was going to put the games out by 8 o'clock Eastern. Sure enough, 45 minutes before my alarm ring, I get a call. And one of my clients wants to know if the games are up. And I'm like, where are you right now? Told me he's in Las Vegas. It seems like a lot of people are going to Las Vegas this weekend. And I said, are you waking up or going to bed? He goes, oh, we're just in the middle of the night here. So he wanted to get his bets in early. So I thought that that was interesting. Got a call at 5 a.m. Eastern time. People are ready to go. So I'm fired up about this. And this is one of the games I like a lot here. So you look at the line and you're like 15.5 points. That's a lot. Arkansas is coming off winning the SEC, but I just think they got some incredible momentum going now. Darius Acuff Jr., I think he's the best player in college basketball. And I've talked about point guards, how important they are because they set up the offense and also late in games. Let's say they're up by 10, 12, 14 points, 2 minutes to go in the game. What is Hawaii going to do? They're going to foul. And this guy hits free throws. He also is hitting almost 39% of his three-pointers. He's improved as the season has progressed, scoring, ball handling, cutting down on his turnovers. I think he's the best, bar none. If I had the first pick, he would be my pick. I think he's going to be a superstar in the NBA. So Hawaii, no quad one wins here. And Arkansas, no losses to teams that aren't in the quad one. So I just think that this is an absolute mismatch here. Both teams like to play up tempo. So we know we're going to see the winning team score in the 80s or 90s. I think Arkansas, I got this game, I got them scoring 95, and I got Hawaii scoring 71 or 72 points here. So we're going to go with a blowout special right out of the gate here. I like the Arkansas Razorbacks big here.
And you know what, too, when it's, I don't know if it's over discussed or what, but it's got to be mentioned. Location with a lot of these games. Remember, when you're playing out west, it's not moved to where the first game is at 4 o'clock and then you go through. Because of television, the first game is actually played because these games are at the Moda Center, we're the home of the Trailblazers. The first game there is High Point, Wisconsin, which is a 1:50 Eastern tip-off. So that's a 10:50 a.m. Pacific time tip-off. So you got to put that into perspective. And the Hawaii-Arkansas game's at 4:25, so it's 1:25 out there, which isn't that bad for those teams. But you just got to put that in the back of your mind when you have these teams going out west just because of TV. They would never play those games that early to see how it would go. But luckily, it shouldn't be that big of a factor here with Hawaii and Arkansas. That's the second game there in that pod in Portland. It's also followed up with Texas, BYU, and Kennesaw State and Gonzaga there. And again, 16 games in the first round today. So now let's
Kevin,
go to,
can you imagine? Yeah. Can you imagine these Hawaii kids? They have not played a high-level team all year. Can you imagine after the first time out, they're going to be like, their eyes are going to be just wide open. I mean, you can say whatever you want. And I know these kids are talented for Hawaii, but when you play a team like Arkansas that's long, fast, I mean, they're quicker even than Florida, playing better right now. When you got to play against a team like that, you never played against a team like that. I just think that you just don't know what to do. I mean, I was in games a couple times in different sports, and I saw it in my teammates, and it's an eye-opening situation.
And you mentioned too, just one last thing to wrap up on this game with Hawaii, that you're in the Big West. Obviously, you don't have great competition. You have a couple decent teams, but nothing great. So they didn't beat a team with a Ken Pom rating of 100 or higher this year. And
Right.
Two of the teams they lost to were Oregon in the first game. And you thought, oh, wow, they almost beat Oregon. And Oregon was terrible this year. And Arizona State, who was okay in the Big 12, maybe. They beat Kansas. But besides that, they weren't a great team. And Hawaii lost both of those games. Didn't beat anybody in the top 100. So we'll see what they do here against a team that won the SEC tournament. So that'll be a thing coming up later today. So now we're going to look at a game for tonight. And it's between the Atlantic 10 and the SEC, St. Louis and Georgia. Time now for our wrong team favorite.
What the WTF?
This line has gone in Georgia's direction. They're laying 2.5 here against St. Louis. This game in Buffalo, and this is the late game in that pod. I'm going to take the points with St. Louis. Now, number one, the Billikens were probably the best team in the Atlantic 10 this year. They had some losses towards the end of the season, and they ended up the co-champions with VCU. They lost that game to Dayton in the final seconds in the A-10 semifinals, and VCU ended up winning the conference tournament. But St. Louis still got in as an at-large team, which is actually a good sign. This is the second time this year that St. Louis is an underdog. The first time they beat VCU on the road. So St. Louis not normally in the underdog role. Now, another couple notes with the Billikens. Number one, they were second, not in the A-10, but nationally in both offensive effective field goal percentage and defensive effective field goal percentage. So that's pretty impressive there. Now, Georgia went 5-1 down the stretch. They lost to Ole Miss in the SEC tournament. Ole Miss made that great run. They almost made it to the SEC championship. But Georgia still played well towards the end. But Georgia and SEC play, though, they were in the lower half with these defensive numbers, allowing 55.2% on two-point attempts and 34.7% on three-point attempts. Now, St. Louis, second in the country in three-point shooting at 40.5%. Georgia's allowed their last three opponents to hit at least 9 three-pointers or more. I just think that here, Georgia, they may run more. They've scored a lot of points. They had that big win over Alabama late in the season. They beat Arkansas earlier in the season. But I just think here, St. Louis, probably a little bit underappreciated in this game after they fell short in the A-10 tournament. Let's take the points with St. Louis against Georgia as our college basketball wrong team favorite.
Yeah, I watched a lot of A-10 action. I thought the A-10 was underrated this year. So in the tournament, they might be able to do some damage. And St. Louis is that type of team. And the average person doesn't watch them. They can bang home some three-pointers. And I expect them – I think they're going to win the game outright.
Yeah, and they have Robbie Avila, who, again, one of the best nicknames in college basketball, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was at Indiana State with Josh Schertz before Schertz took the job at St. Louis and took Avila with him, and one of the better big men in the country. So we'll see what they do here in their first NCAA tournament appearance. Coming up, we're going to shift gears to UFC Fight Night in London, and we're going to talk about our lock of the day. That is straight ahead. You are listening to the Thursday edition of Locked On Bets. Let's talk now about FanDuel, and this is just super exciting. The time of year that we're at, college basketball, it's nonstop, big games, tight spreads, momentum swings every single night, from early tip-offs to late-night shootouts out west. There's always action on the board, and now FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into even bigger potential wins with a college basketball parlay profit boost. Here's how it goes. You can build any college hoops parlay you want. You could find rivals. You could find maybe a small school. No matter what, it's up to you. You have spreads, you have totals, player props, all your choice and how you want to build your college hoops parlay and apply the profit boost and instantly bump up the potential payout. And again, however you build it, with the big name schools, with the smaller name schools, if you like a nickname for a school, that's all up to you. It's your parlay, your style, and now with more upside behind it. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com. Play your game. We continue Locked On Bets here on a Thursday. Kevin Rogers and Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports with you. We've hit on some college basketball, and now we look ahead to Saturday and UFC Fight Night going to London. And it's time now for our Lock of the Day.
Open it, open it, open it. Lee has the key to the Lock of the Day.
Fight Night is in London coming up on Saturday, and the welterweight match, a couple of Englishmen going at it. Michael Page, 24-3, Sam Patterson, 14-2-1. Page, a heavy favorite here. Lee, what do you like with this matchup?
So I was there 4 years ago. Fun place to watch a fight in the O2 Arena. They really get aroused there, and crazy. I saw Paddy Pimblett fight, and when he came out, I mean, it was absolute bedlam. I recorded it. It's one of my favorite videos. So they really support their fighters, and usually they have them fighting against someone from Brazil, someone from Wales, someone from the United States or Mexico. Strange to see two guys from England matching up, but that's what they have to do. So Michael Venom Page has been having trouble getting fights. 6'3", 79-inch reach, and he's 38, but probably one of the quickest fighters you've ever seen. His kicks and his punching, you would think he's 25. He is dangerous. His weakness is sometimes he doesn't fight real smart. But he's 5-1 in the UFC since he came over. And like I said, he's been having trouble getting fights. Sam Patterson took this fight. Michael Venom Page is ranked 14th. Sam Patterson's ranked 36th. And let's look at the different opponents that each has faced. I know that Sam Patterson's 4-1 in the UFC, but the guys that he fought and beat were ranked 58th, 56th, 79th, and 70th. He lost to Yanel Ajmuz, who's not even ranked anymore. The guys that Michael Venom Page fought and beat were number 10, 29, 9, and 10, and he lost to Ian Machado Gary, one of the best there is in the division. So I just think it's crazy here that this line isn't -4 or 500. It's -175, -180 here. If Page wants to take him out, knock him out, submit him, he can do it in the first round here. He might let it play out through 3 rounds, but he's going to get the easy win here. We're going to go the level 3 lock all the way up. Michael Venom Page gets the easy win over Sam, no nickname, Patterson.
All right, so looking forward to UFC Fight Night, early start coming up in London on Saturday. And Lee, an exciting day, exciting next couple days with the round of 64 Thursday and Friday, then the round of 32 coming up this weekend. So Paramount Sports, the place to be for all the college basketball.
Yep, you want to get it. There's still time. We have a loaded card. I think we got like 7 games going today in college basketball. So started off last week, 14-2 from Wednesday through Sunday. The conference tournaments, use coupon code SAVE40, $157. Every college selection, that includes the NITs also. Today, all the way through the final, Monday, April 6th, $157 in the checkout box for the March Madness special. Put in coupon code SAVE40, $157. And how about this? UFC 5 to 7 selections, not $55, $5. You heard me correct. $5 for 5 UFC selections. You're saying, why am I doing it so low? Because I know if I win for you, you're going to want to come back for more UFC. You're going to want to sign up for NBA action in the playoffs. You're going to want to sign up for baseball that starts next week. More of my hockey. Get on it now, ParamountSports.com, or call me. I'm up already, 800-400-9741.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Locked On Bets, as well as find the podcast version, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Type in Locked On Bets, and you'll be all set. Also, Lee had a couple of other selections earlier in the week. If you want to check those out, go to our YouTube channel, Locked On Bets. He has a couple picks there. And also, he has a short for another college basketball game coming up later on today. So check us out, Locked On Bets on YouTube. For Lee Sterling, I am Kevin Rogers. Thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of Locked On Bets right here on the Locked On Podcast Network.